All right, ran into Ryan again, yearly tradition.
This is the best BrickFair Virginia of this year, which actually, no, that was going to be an ironic statement. There is another BrickFair Virginia this year.
There is?
This is the better one. Yeah.
Where's the other one?
That's in like Fredericksburg. Maybe it's BrickFair Fredericksburg, Virginia or something.
I didn't know that.
They announced it last year or something, and then this year's is it's like two different events, but yeah, I assume most people that go here won't go to the other one, you know?
Oh, okay.
It's separate.
Man, M&R, you learn something every day from this guy, don't you?
I can tell you so many things.
Really?
Commander Cody is in a Lego set.
He is.
That you can't buy.
It took him long enough. Did you think it was any good?
The visor kind of sucks, but the rest of the figure's very good, yeah.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
Right.
All right, here with Daniel Siskind.
Hi, I'm at this is not World War, this is BrickFair, Virginia. We just had World War Brick, which we'll do again in Minneapolis. We're in Virginia, at BrickFair, Virginia, 2022. Right in front of you is this is USS Johnston. This is actually the Navy History and Heritage Command has a little setup. This doesn't belong to that company. It's the Navy ship. But we're also doing a benefit booth and raffle for Ukrainian airmen currently defending the skies of Ukraine. And we're raising money for them so far. We've been doing this since the war started, raised $150,000. And we're just going to do it, continuing in here, going to continue in the future. So excited to be here, excited to meet people, and having a good time.
This is the SEATRON monorail. This was a unreleased set that they were planning in the 1990s. They released 3 other monorail sets. This was planned to be the 4th one, but the first 3 were so expensive to produce and the sales just weren't there because adjusted for inflation, those monorail sets in retail back then, they cost over $150, and so the sales just weren't there, so they unfortunately scrapped the SEATRON monorail before it was able to get released as a set. But I decided to recreate it from one of the only pictures that exists of it. So I was able to source a lot of these parts, including the expensive and rare monorail parts. But interestingly enough, a lot of the parts that they used in that prototype set were parts that never appeared in those colors. So I had an interesting time trying to recreate like some of those transparent red panels over there. I actually used real parts in different colors, like the trans yellow ones that appeared in some of the old Blacktron sets. And I actually applied a transparent red film over them, kind of like you would a phone screen protector. And I think it actually sells the illusion pretty well. There was also the octagonal dome in front there. That one I actually used an alcohol-based ink to dye it, and that kind of sells the effect there as well. But I had a blast putting this together, and it's definitely an interesting look at what might have been had we gotten another monorail from Lego.
Do you know why they stopped making the monorails?
Yeah, so the electronic components back then, it was the same thing with like the insectoids, the little light and sound bricks. They had to outsource those to third parties, and it was expensive to have a partnership with somebody like that, and that was reflected in the cost of the sets for consumers to buy. And so, you know, people just weren't able to purchase them at that high price threshold.
All right, thank you, man.
Yeah.
So you guys just want to introduce yourselves and just tell me a little bit how this came together?
All right, so I'm Michael Wilhoit. Flickr and Instagram is MIJE_W.
And I'm Mason Riggs, m.soccer2 on Instagram and Flickr.
Yeah, we'll put the socials in the description later, I guess. We're two collaborators on this year's Muhashi Cyber City display. We're not getting to this display, there are a bunch right now. But Stefan Fomentana, his socials are down there. Stefan had this idea a couple years ago to do a cyber city based on the one from 2013, which we both participated in actually a decade ago. We like pulled several of us out of retirement to like do this.
Yeah.
I would say, as far as this thing goes, half of the work done was Stefan, and the other half was like 8 of us. You know, they're like small cubes that you can rearrange and stack and rotate and anywhere else.
And you see.
Yeah. So, you know, just to get a picture of like the mix of stuff here, it's like this is one guy, this cube frame is one guy, this is Stefan, this is another guy, Toby, this is Stefan. So
This is one guy right there.
yeah, it's like a big mix of like all of our cube sections and our freestanding towers. So like the cube frame stuff has been around for like 10 years now. We developed it for the original Cyber City display, and it's just a perfect system for like modular city stacking. And so if you take like a lap around this thing, anywhere that there is like a black frame on something, that's removable, rotatable, stackable.
And it's a cube, so
Yeah.
it's everything fits together like very seamlessly.
Snugly, and yeah, so people can't even tell.
Yeah.
Especially when you like kind of hide the edges of these platforms and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll speak mostly about my section because the other people that are not here, we probably want to talk about it more. So we'll go around this side.
Yeah.
So one of the questions I get asked all the time is, what are these pieces? They are Duplo couch cushions in tan. I got them in Lug Book this year from Colonial Lug. So anything from here on up is mine. I threw this together like a month between getting my lug bolt and building it, and it's now like probably going to be a permanent fixture for future iterations of stuff. I kind of also started this like top down. I built the helicopter first, and I'm like, well, I need a helipad for the helicopter. And then I built the helipad section, like, well, now I need a building for the helipad. And then I just worked my way down until I have the complete thing, and like, hey Stefan, it's going on your display now. I was like, cool, dude. So, come around the side again.
Yep.
The idea of this tower is like a data collection facility. So we have like little scenes inside of here of like all those photos and videos of like close-up shots and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like a bunch of like cool computer tubes and screens, and the really useless like 2x2 printed slopes with like computer screens on it. So all throughout this thing, like all backlit and stuff. So I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Around the back a little bit farther. Around the back of the building, I have just like ductwork and pipes and tubes and advertisements and graffiti.
Yeah. That's another Duplo piece right there, right? That.
Yeah, the tubes, the pipes.
We wanted to like make this like an air duct that like kind of like comes up and out and back around into the building, and then we have the last curved section with a vent fan on top of it, so it looks like continuous through the building,
Yeah.
like a Dr. Seuss kind of way. So yeah, that's my tower section, and go over with Mason now to see his cube.
Yeah, over here, down to this side over here. These two sections right here. So, initially I just kind of reached out to Stefan
Yeah.
He reached out to me, and we kind of figured out like, hey, I want you in the collab. I want you to build a cube.
Yeah.
So I was building the bottom section here. And it's got like a little meat market. It's got a bar there with like special like Eclipse graphics, like beer mugs and like fun like little drinks and stuff.
They get the custom stuff in there.
I was like, I've got the time, I've got the bricks. Let me make another section. So then I ended up like scrapping the top of it and extending the support beams up and made the next section up here. So like you got like a little hydroponics growery for all your botanical needs. And you know, it's a lot of like miscellaneous like advertising and stuff like that. We have like a little staircase going all the way up with some apartment buildings on the side. I can kind of speak a little bit to some of the other towers, like this one right here has been under construction for the better part of about a half a year.
Wow.
A lot of people ask, like, what are these pieces? Like, these are the book covers for the Disney Princess sets. So he bought them in bulk from some brickling seller, and he just made this giant tower with it.
Yeah.
This is actually a prison, believe it or not. So
It's a colorful prison.
yeah, colorful prison.
Yeah.
So like you can see kind of like these like little slits that, you know, for all the jail cells, you know, you can't really see a lot of light coming in. But, there's like little hidden things here and there. All the lighting and the wiring that you see is actually done by Stefan himself. So like everything's been like soldered together. Like some of those like blinking lights that are programmed with like an Arduino or Raspberry Pi.
And there's a video board back there too. How'd you get that in there?
So like if you ever go to like a sports stadium, like the big panels, like the big LED panels that you see like on the screen that display the score and the video and stuff like that. These are just a couple like modular sections that he wired up, and you can kind of like with the Raspberry Pi convert like GIF images to like almost like a video. So he just has like a loop of videos playing on all the screens that you see.
So how long did this take to put together total?
So it started about 3 years ago, and ever since, like he's displayed it at a few conventions, and BrickFair, Alabama this year was the main footprint of the build here, and then about a year ago, like we kind of started getting more people on board, and we just, because we expanded the base, we want to go vertical now. So that's why you see like a lot of like Mike's Tower, Simon or Simon's Tower, like the police building, and this tower. This is a new iteration from BrickFair. Just a lot of like little details and stuff. So like a lot of things, like we wanted to like build like the grittiness of like the underbelly of the Cyber City. So like as you go up, you kind of get like more sophisticated, more high tech, and just kind of like a difference in classes, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of like Ninjago City.
A little bit like Ninjago City. Like a lot of like our concept art that we've gotten is like from like Blade Runner 2049, or like the original Blade Runner, like Akira and stuff like that. Like very Neo Tokyo inspired.
Yeah. So last one for you. Guys have any ideas for what you're going to do in the future with this?
Oh yes, the next year at BrickFair, Virginia, we want to double the size of this.
Wow. So
everything you see here will come back next year, but we want to double the size and really kind of experiment with like more LED screens, like sound. Like we had sounds playing, like music from different movies and stuff, but we want to double the size, and then in future iterations we want to almost quadruple the size of it, so that this is like one of the most massive displays.
Yeah, I think that's going to be very cool. I can't wait to see it.
Of course.
Yep. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Hey guys, it's BB202 back from another entertaining BrickFair. This was my 11th overall. Got to talk to a lot of people. Some of the cooler mocks I've ever seen at this one. Really just a lot of fun. And didn't get too much this time around, but pretty happy with the things I got. First off, we got this Ukrainian flag right here. Don't need to say too much about that. I think you kind of know the story behind it. And then went over, I think this might have been Brickmania. Got some printed tiles. We got a campaign poster. We got the Cuban flag, Wall Street, just various things that are useful in mocks. Couple of guns right here, little kitchen knife, and then kind of a longer machete. And this is kind of an interesting one right here. This one's a little pricier than the rest of them. It's a custom printed gun. I don't know, it caught my eye, and I kind of thought, why not, right? Because I just sort of realized I wasn't getting a ton, so might as well come out with this. And then the last place I went to was K-Town Bricks. I'm not really too familiar with this stand, but this is really where my favorite stuff that I got was from this time around. First off, got this Black Falcons brick right here. This is actually 2 8x1 bricks stacked on top of each other and printed. I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna put it. Might end up in my city, might end up in my castle display, but I just like the look of it. Over here on the left, we have the Angevin Empire sigil, what England used to be in the 1100s when they had part of France. And obviously that appeals to me as somebody who has a lot of castle stuff and kind of knows a bit about that. And then on the right, we've got a Polish flag. Not every day you see a Lego Polish flag kicking around. Sees kind of the trend here. We're just getting various international things. And lastly, we have a Templar Knight. And he's pretty cool. These are kind of pricey. Each part of this, I sort of built him from the bin they had. So he's got one of these custom axes. Pretty neat. And you can see the torso right here. Very high definition printing on the front and the back. And then I felt like these were the best pants to go with them. Matched up the best. And then we've got a helmet here, which is just a regular Lego helmet, but it does have gold on the front, which sets it apart. I'm gonna find a head for that, and then might appear in a future video. Anyways, this is everything I got. Not a ton this time around, but all stuff I thought was worthwhile, really. I mean, I think I'd be turning into a hoarder if I had anything more than I did. So, you know, happy with what I got. Mostly about just going there to see stuff, and that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Leave some comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you, and don't forget to subscribe.